Across the cracked, dry grasslands of Africa, a fleeting shape moves past. Not a lion, not a leopard, but the swiftest and most cunning pack hunter on the continent. The African wild dog does not rely on individual strength, but on the near-perfect unity of the pack. Every stride, every circling move is calculated down to the rhythm of their breathing. As the dust in the grass begins to rise, nature is about to witness a masterclass in strategy, where speed and solidarity draw the line between hunger and a full meal. The African wild dog, also known as Lycaon pictus, is one of the most intelligent and determined predators on the planet. It has long legs, a deep chest, and exceptional stamina, reaching speeds of over 40 miles per hour. Its mottled coat allows it to blend perfectly into the dry grass and sunlight. Every individual in the pack has a clear role: the leader, the one who circles wide, the one who blocks the retreat. No other species on the savanna shows such powerful cooperation. The true strength of the African wild dog lies in its discipline and absolute loyalty to the pack. The impala, a nimble antelope whose legs can launch it more than 30 feet in a single bound, is a worthy challenge for any hunter. The moment the signal is given, the pack breaks formation. Some rush straight ahead, others swing out to the sides, forcing the impala to choose a direction to flee. While the impala struggles to change course, each wild dog uses its sense of sound and subtle visual signals to keep the formation intact. Powerful lungs and flexible leg muscles allow them to run non-stop for miles without slowing down, a rare biological feat in the world of predators. The impala heads towards the lake, a place that seems safe, but the pack stays close behind. They plunge into the water, swimming strongly with steady kicks, hardly losing any speed. Amid the churning surface, the impala begins to tire, while the wild dogs maintain complete control of the chase. As the water calms, nature closes another cycle of survival. It is not cruelty, but a law of balance, where every species must find a way to live within its own limits. The African buffalo, a giant weighing more than 1,500 pounds, is an opponent that few species dare to confront. Yet in the dry season, when food becomes scarce, packs of wild dogs still push the limits of what they can do. Typically, each hunt involves around 20 to 25 individuals, moving like a single organized current. They do not attack recklessly, but patiently watch from a distance, waiting for the moment when the buffalo herd breaks formation. Once a target is chosen, usually a young animal newly separated from its mother or an older, weakened individual, the formation closes in at once. One group applies pressure from behind, while another swings around to block the path ahead. Their speed and stamina allow them to keep up the pressure until the prey is pushed away from the center of the herd. At times, thanks to flawless coordination, they even manage to bring down a fully grown buffalo, a testament to strategy triumphing over sheer muscle. The hunt ends within the order of nature, where every success is simply a reminder of the harsh balance that rules the savannah. At dawn, on the grasslands of the Masai Mara, dew still clings to the faded yellow blades of grass as the wild dog pack begins to move. From a distance, they already recognize the heavy migration of hundreds of wildebeest, a species known for its strength and vigilance. Yet amid that chaotic motion, their instincts detect what the eye alone might miss: an uneven stride, a gap in the formation. The pack of more than 20 individuals splits into smaller groups, slowly closing the distance. There is no roaring, only the quiet signals of strategy. They steadily chase their target for more than 5 miles, holding close to 35 miles per hour while maintaining a tight formation. In the rising dust, the weaker one begins to fall behind, and the circle gradually closes. As sunset settles over the savannah, the plains fall quiet once more. In nature's heartbeat, there is no victory or defeat, only the cycle of survival, where instinct and strategy merge into one. Amid the scorched savannah, the lion, symbol of strength and power, walks through the burning sunlight. It has no need to hide. Its very presence is enough to put every other creature on alert. For the wild dogs, it is an opponent they rarely wish to confront, but at times, survival instincts force them into direct contact. After an exhausting hunt, the pack brings down a young buffalo. While they are sharing the meal, a male lion in the distance picks up the scent of meat and the movement carried on the wind. He charges in, fast and decisive. The wild dogs scatter at once. Some try to distract him. Others stay near their hard-won food, not realizing the danger has already come too close. One individual is brought down while still trying to shield the meal, and the rest give sharp alarm calls and pull back in formation. In that moment, the savannah seems to hold its breath. The lion claims the meal, and the wild dogs withdraw in silence, not out of fear, but out of the understanding that this clash has moved beyond the limits of their strength. The leopard, the silent, hidden hunter of Africa, moves through the shade with a gait as fluid as the waves of grass. Unlike the lion, it hunts alone, relying on agility and ambush. On a sweltering midday, the leopard has just brought down an impala beneath the canopy, its breath still hanging in the hot air. But the scent of that success spreads quickly, and a pack of wild dogs has already picked it up. At first, only one arrives to investigate, circling the leopard and letting out short, sharp calls to signal the others. Before long, answering calls rise from the distance. The rest of the pack is on its way. Knowing it cannot face such numbers head-on, the leopard leaves the prey behind and quickly climbs to a high branch, a place the wild dog's paws can never reach. At the base of the tree, the pack gathers around and divides the meal in an orderly way. Above them, the leopard watches in silence, its golden eyes reflecting quiet regret. In this struggle over a single prize, nature shows that in the wild, wisdom helps one survive. But loss is still something no creature can fully escape. Along the rivers of Africa, where the still surface quietly mirrors the blue sky, motionless shapes lie hidden beneath the mud. Crocodiles, the silent ambushers of the wild. During their long journeys across the grasslands, wild dogs often come to the water's edge to drink or cool their bodies after extended hunts. But in this place that seems so peaceful, danger is already waiting. With just one careless movement, a splash shatters the calm. One dog is pulled beneath the surface in an instant. The ambush is brief but unforgiving. The rest of the pack responds with sharp calls, their eyes fixed on the rippling water, showing their anxiety and the sense of loss for the member who is gone. When the river grows quiet again, only the faint reflection of the trees remains. The savanna closes another chapter, where vigilance is not just an instinct. It is the one condition for survival in a wilderness that offers no concessions. The air erupts in a single breath as the grizzly, an emblem of primal strength, appears, and no prey is fast enough to escape. Silent, precise approaches follow, each movement decisive, like nature's touch restoring order. At the top of the food chain, the bear does not hunt from hunger alone, but from an instinct to control that becomes a right to survive. Patience and strategy turn it into a quiet hunter, creating moments that are both awe-inspiring and edged with risk. Across the frozen plains of Yellowstone, the Junction Butte wolf pack forms a wide circle, more than a dozen wolves closing in around a grizzly. On the snow-covered ground, their breaths rise in mist as the wind whistles through the dry grass, thickening the tension in the air. What they're fighting over is the last meal of the day, and every eye is fixed on the dark brown figure standing firm in the center. Wolves dart sideways, shifting direction in quick bursts, testing from every angle, building pressure from all sides. The bear does not retreat. It turns in sync with the circling pack, shoulders angled toward the greatest threat, head lowered, ears tuned to every shifting step. Then the pack splits in two, one flank feinting in another direction, throwing the circle off rhythm. They sweep wide, taking turns to provoke, while the bear pivots its shoulders to hold position, growling in steady bursts to assert its boundary with fierce determination. The standoff stretches on, energy fading in the grip of the frozen air. One by one, the golden eyes turn away. The wolves withdraw from the open ground, leaving the grizzly standing still beside its meal, a solitary point of calm in the heart of the harsh winter. Beneath the forests of North America, the grizzly faces not only its prey, but also its own kind. Each bear, weighing nearly 800 pounds, stands face to face in disputes over territory and breeding rights. They do not rush in recklessly. The confrontation begins as two massive figures cross into the same boundary. They circle each other, and with every shift of stance, they leave marks on the ground, signs of power and presence. Both test their strength with short, forceful pushes, then deliberately pause to save energy, because for the grizzly, endurance is what defines survival. In the end, the one that holds its ground secures its place, a symbol of strength and determination in the wild. Deep claw marks remain on the muddy earth, imprints of instinct and the natural order that governs the wilderness. In the lower forest zones, black bears and grizzlies share overlapping territories divided by fragile boundaries. The black bear is lighter and more agile, quick to climb trees, while the grizzly moves with solid power, its humped shoulders like stone ledges, its gaze steady and calm. When both approach the same food source, the balance often tips toward the grizzly. One firm step forward and a low warning growl are usually enough to make the smaller rival retreat. In another stretch of Yellowstone's plains, a grizzly quietly trails a full-grown bison during the lean days. It doesn't rush, waiting for that brief moment when its rival lets its guard down. When the signal comes, the instinct to survive ignites, and the chase begins. But the early advantage quickly shifts. The bison, massive and battle-tested, turns to maintain distance, lowering its center of gravity to avoid being cornered, then counters with controlled, powerful charges. The bear drives its opponent toward a dry stream bed, where slick rocks and icy water force both to adjust their tactics. Here, the advantage shifts to the grizzly. Its heavy, steady steps and the water's drag combine to make every approach precise. On the same Yellowstone grasslands, the order sometimes reverses. The grizzly, symbol of the wild, is forced to retreat when a massive bison suddenly shifts from defense to attack. The sheer weight and speed make the bear recognize the disadvantage, and it quickly withdraws from the area. In a land where every creature must balance between attack and defense, even the strongest predator can become prey in a single moment. In midsummer, mountain goats begin foraging across the rugged hills, venturing close to areas shadowed by the threat of bears. They cling to the steep ledges of the Santa Elena Canyon, holding their ground high above the valley. A chase erupts across the chain of steep cliffs. A North American grizzly moves in, its gaze locked on a mother goat and her kid. The young one leaps across a gap as the mother leads, hooves gripping firmly. Here, the height itself becomes their shield. In contrast, the grizzly's massive build forces it to move with caution, each step carefully measured. The pace of the hunt slows, the distance widens, and the prey fades into the mountainside. A question remains. On flat ground, would the outcome have been different? During migration season, the grizzly moves parallel to the reindeer herd, watching in silence. It waits for the moment when the herd crosses the soft ground, where even the fastest runners begin to slow. When the moment arrives, the chase begins. The bear bursts into speed, the herd scatters in a brief wave of chaos, and one young reindeer falls behind. Out of rhythm, control is established before the prey can regain its pace. By the riverbank bordering the plains, another reindeer is driven toward the icy water. It tries to sprint away, but the slippery ground and the relentless hunter behind it slowly close off every escape. The struggle swirls across the surface of the water. The adult reindeer fights back fiercely, every moment charged with tension. Its rapid breathing blends with the splashing current as the narrow line between life and loss grows ever smaller. After several tense moments of struggle, the bear gains control, and the surface of the river returns to calm. Only the wind remains, whispering through the riverside grass, echoing the end of a survival contest where timing and endurance decide everything. At the forest's edge in Montana, as a herd of deer steps into the clearing, the young ones instantly draw attention. The bear begins its move in silence, keeping its distance and waiting for the slightest mistake. It follows with steady persistence, channeling all focus into those few decisive seconds, just as one deer stumbles over a fallen branch. In this terrain, the deer is at a disadvantage. But for the grizzly, victory is not merely an outcome. It is the balance between patience and instinct. Along the icy rivers of Alaska, white foam swirls at the base of the falls. Hundreds of salmon fight their way upstream, leaping over each rushing step in their journey to spawn. Perched on a rock, the grizzly positions itself at the narrowest point of the flow, where the fish leap within reach and moves with swift precision to claim its meal. The waterfall is more than a feeding ground. It's a vital link in nature's cycle. The salmon enrich the soil and the forest, sustaining future generations of bears. The sound of the falls, blending with the cold wind, marks the close of another turn in the rhythm of the wild. The brief feast is the reward for a summer of patience, a perfect balance between instinct and nature's order. As the sun touches the mountain peaks, the bear leaves the riverbank, carrying enough energy for hibernation, a timeless cycle shared between creature and earth. Within the vast ecological cycle, the hyena continues to play the role of a tireless chaser, waiting for the right moment and making use of even the smallest opportunity. Each encounter, with elephants, antelope, buffalo, leopards, lions, or wild dogs, further reveals its intelligence, strategy, and remarkable ability to adapt. For those who want to explore more perspectives on the wild world, they can press like and subscribe so they do not miss the next stories. The Savannah still holds countless secrets, and the journey to uncover them is only just beginning.